Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a comparison sort of. The main thing I'm going to be doing is swatches and a review of the Morphe 35O2 palette. So as I showed you, this is their new packaging. They changed the way that things are laid out and it looks a little more fancy. The comparison that I want to do is from one that I have. I don't have the original 35O, but I do have another Morphe palette that's older that we can compare it to and kind of see the differences. So they've changed the outside as well. It just says Morphe, where the old one looks like this with the red M. They're both plastic, so that hasn't changed. One thing off the bat, when I opened it, I haven't swatched them, but I opened it. It has all of the names. No, it's not on the actual palette, it's a plastic sheet, but I still like that they're making an effort to change things around and make it more standard to other brands. I will show you my 35F Fall Into Frost palette. So this is my old palette. Yes, it's beaten up and it's really bad looking, but here's that one. And the new one without the plastic looks like this. So you're still getting the same amount of shades, obviously 35O2, and you are still getting the same amount in each pan. So I think what I'm going to do, since there's so many shades, is I will put them all on my arm and then show you row by row what they look like. So the first row right here looks like this. Starting from the end, right here, we have Universal, Pure, Orb, Tan, Sizzle, Amber, and Bronzy. They all went on very nicely. I know these three right here look pretty similar. There are some differences up close, so it's nice to have a variation of brown colors in this palette. And here is the second row of colors. We have Flux, Contour, Heat, Ablaze, Sauce, Fire, and Ruby. The two that really stand out to me are this orange shimmer shade and the red shimmer shade. Those are two that I haven't personally seen. So it's nice to have something that I don't already have as well. Here is the third row. These shades are Zodiac, Polished, Spice, Terracotta, Brick, Rustic, and Zippy. The shade Rustic right here is kind of unique. It is a bronzy color, but to me it has more of an orange tone to it. It looks different to me than other warm tone colors that I've seen. So on to the fourth row now. We have Dust, Risky, Chestnut, Halo, Rich, Brave, and In the Zone. So only one of them is a shimmer, this one right here. The rest of them are matte shades. Here is the final row, and we have Fawn, Stone, So Warm, Toast, Brunette, Muddy, and Whiz. Those are all matte shades, so that completes the entire palette, which I'll show you one more time. It looks like this. You get a lot of different brown shades in this, and I think that personally I really love that idea, because there are times where if it was just a tad bit different, then it would be the perfect brown for a specific look, but I don't always have those colors. So what I'm going to do to compare is just take a matte shade from the old palette and take a shimmer shade kind of do a test by swatching it with the feel and the payoff and talk about the difference of what I feel they are. So I will just take this color here and this shade right here. Honestly, they feel very similar. They have really great payoff. I have heard that they worked with Jaclyn Hill on this palette. They may have a little bit of a bump up with their quality of these shadows because they're supposed to be more like the Jaclyn Hill palette. But overall, their shadows were good to begin with, and I think that these were just a slight improvement of their already good formula. What I'm gonna do right now is do a quick look with the palette and see how it performs, see if I feel like there's any differences, any improvements in the way that it blends, and give you my final thoughts on the 35O2 palette. Using the coupon code that I used, the palette was only $28.65, so still a really good deal for 35 shadows. But we will see how they perform. I've already primed my lids like I normally do with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, as well as putting my Laura Mercier on top of that. I really want to try that orange color. I know that it's kind of out there and bright, but I think I'm going to do a look with that. So I'm going to start with this shade right here, which is called Orb. Lots of color payoff just by swiping one time. That's pretty crazy how much actually came off. There is slight kickback. I don't even know if you can see it, but there is slight kickback with this. I just cannot believe the color payoff on that. That is really crazy. The Morphe shadows before worked well, but I don't feel like they gave you that much color payoff. I don't think I even needed to really go over twice. It is performing really well so far. The next color I'm going to take is this one right here, and that is called Brick. Similar amount of kickback, just a little bit right there, just a little bit in the pan. Payoff again is really, really nice. The next shade I'm going to take is that orange one called Ablaze. Again, similar amount of kickback. Now we are going to darken it up. Going to use the shade right here in the zone. Same amount of kickback. That shade is very nice. It's pigmented and performed very well so far. I'm going to just take the brush that I had initially and go over the look. I'm going to take the shade Sauce, that bright orange shimmer shade. I'll use it without MAC Fix Plus first, and then depending on how it looks, we'll go from there.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side.
So it looks okay, but I'm just used to having a shadow that really just pops. So I will be right back with some MAC Fix Plus. And that just gave it a little something extra. And since that color is so bright, I'm gonna go over it with the other shades that we've done. So back in with this one right here, which was Brick. And that's blending very nicely. I'm going to skip doing the ablaze. Deepening that crease back up. Then, because I want to see how the black shade performs, the shade Whiz, I'm going to use that to deepen up the outer V of my eye. So I barely went into there, and the color payoff is very nice. You do not need to go in there a bunch of times. I literally went in like this, maybe 3 times, tap it off, and then there is the shade. And then just blending that out. I feel like I look like a jack-o'-lantern right now, but that's okay. I really wanted to try that shade. I have no complaints so far. I'm going to put on some eyeliner and more mascara off camera, and then I will do the lower lash line when I get back. So using that shade Brick again, right here, I'm going to use that on my lower lash line. Using the shade in the zone next, right here. Finally taking that shade Whiz, the black shade right there. And taking and blending that all out to soften it up. So here is the finished look using the Morphe 35O2 palette. While this is kind of a bright, like I said, I feel like a pumpkin type look, there are many different choices. You could do an all matte look with the browns that they have, or you could do a gold look as well as the bright pops of color. I personally do not own the 35O original palette, but like I said, the palette that I have from the old version, I feel like while it works good, after using these shadows, they definitely up their game for sure. They just blend so nicely and seamlessly. They were pigmented before, but they're just this orange is very, very vibrant, and I know that can be tough with certain palettes to get that color payoff, and I feel like they did a really good job doing this palette. If you want a nice warm palette with a bunch of different colors, I definitely suggest going out and purchasing this. Like I said, it's only $28 and some change for this palette, and then you get 35 different shades. You're not gonna get that anywhere else with the same amount of quality. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, wonderful palette. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to get into it more. This was my first time doing it, so I'm really excited to get to try it out more and see what different looks it can give me. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I put out videos on Monday and Wednesday generally. This one will be out on a Thursday, but I try to keep the Monday-Wednesday schedule. If you don't want to miss a video, you can always click on that notification bell and it will let you know anytime I do a video. So until my next video, I will see you guys next time.